Cool. So tonight I'm going to cover getting ready for 2024. We're going to look at the process between now and the things that you need to be doing before Christmas to make sure that you are up and ready to show up for 2024. I'm going to revise what we need to do in terms of figuring out what we want to do in 2024 so that time, energy and focus is established and the direction of it, and then the build up of the structure, the routine and the systems. And then the 5 key things that I want you all to write down or make a note of that you need to be doing to make sure that you're showing up to achieve the things that you want to achieve, okay? So I just want to follow on very, very quickly from the message this morning. Obviously, it's not for everybody, and for some of you know, there are people who are showing up. The number one problem that really is being highlighted with guys, whether you're in this world or whether you're in the outside world, is the element of showing up, okay? Everything starts with showing up at any level. So I think we might have some guys in here that are on the Awaken Your Potential course. We've got guys in here who've been here for 4 years. It doesn't matter what part of the spectrum you're at, whether you're at the very start of your journey or your experience with me in here. And this includes for myself as right, okay? For coaches, for the other people of authors of books that you read, other coaches or influencers on social media that you follow or watch. The same principle applies, right? It's the ability to be able to show up. And that's the first and foremost thing that we have to be able to do. So what does showing up actually mean, okay? So showing up means finding a baseline of the minimum requirement that you need to be able to establish to be able to achieve the outcomes that you're going to achieve. So there is this line, this straight line. When you're above the line, you're not drowning. When you're below the line, you are drowning, okay? And when you're drowning, what you're slowly doing is forming those emotions of, I feel sorry for myself, I feel pity. I saw another great post just before I come on from Gareth, and he was talking about burying his head under the sand. So when we're below that baseline of showing up, everything slowly starts to crumble, okay? Relationships, attitudes, mindsets, emotions, our bodies, our relationships, our career. You all know this. Like, you don't need me to tell you this, but well, maybe you do. But what we have to do is find out what is the minimum level of requirement to show up to be above that line, okay? And I put it in a post. I was having a chat with one of the lads today and was talking about the minimum requirement in this course. Yes, I run 2 higher level programs. Yes, they invest more money into that. And yes, they get monumentally more effort and time from me. Okay, because that's what you get for 15 years worth of experience. And that show rate is 98%. But it's no reason why you can't be 98% show rate here. Because we do 2 focus sessions here. Okay, you can message me anytime. There are 7 points of contact every single morning where before 8 o'clock you should be showing up and going, right, I've done my morning accountability, okay? There are a Wednesday check-in. There is a weekly planning session. Mikey B does a bonus support session with all of the experience. Mikey's been with me nearly 4 years. He's, I would say, more high qualified in terms of knowing what to say and what to give you in terms of advice than most of the potential gurus that are on the fucking social media. All right, he offers you books to book a call. There are people not showing up for calls. There are people not showing up for accountability. I promised myself I wasn't going to rant and go into it because at the end of the day, this is your life, right? Like, my job is to meet here. This is my halfway. Yes, your road to come and meet me is a little bit longer than maybe the guys that invest a little bit more in the programs and up, okay? And ultimately, your success is still really, really important to me, John and Mike. Otherwise, we wouldn't get so pissed off with you. If we didn't give a shit, I wouldn't fucking be losing my rag and sending abusive messages to you like on a Tuesday morning, right? But it's just because we want you to win. But you should want to win for yourself more than I want you to win. And that is where lies the problem. I think that I want most of you to win more than you do for yourself. Okay, and we're caught up in this cycle, right, of man, I'm not showing up. You know it. Like, if we're in this group and we're being honest, and if you're coming to Birmingham, fuck me, you're going to get some home truths. But if we are honest, those of you that are making excuses are full of shit. Like, there's only 1 or 2 excuses that I really accept. Like, do you know what I mean? If you're about to die, that's probably the only one that I'll accept for not showing up. But on a serious note, every piece of adversity that you're facing, every single piece of it, everything you're going through is an opportunity for growth. And I think too many of you are looking at it as an opportunity not to show up. We should, like, honestly, when you get hardship coming into your life, you find new ways to cope. You find new resilience that you've never found. And that is the time to show up. It's easy when life's got no problems. It's easy. In fact, it almost encourages complacency. When life is great, job's good, fucking got money coming in, wife's great, getting laid all the time, kids are fucking banging, like, we're on it. But when life is fucking hard, when you face challenges, when you come up against shit, that is when every single one of you should be saying to me, I'm fucking on it, let's go. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, Stuart is a great example, handling cancer, like, the way he's handled it is the byproduct of the work that he's done on himself. Do you know what I mean? Other people in here, Marcus, who you'll see on in Birmingham, stage 4 cancer, got over cancer, cancer-free, completely different individual. And that is the most extreme form of, like, influences that will stop you showing up. But the day-to-day stuff, guys, like, you either want it or you don't. Like, you know, it's you've got to want it. You've got to want to get to whatever that vision is. And hopefully from what we're doing here, it's going to give you some direction. Because I do think that a lot of those of you that are not showing up are disconnected. And I think you're disconnected because you're not coming into the group. And you're sometimes almost forgetting it, right? So let me just show you here this quick. I've shown this tip before, and a couple of you have messaged me and said it was game changer. So obviously I can't speak for the Android guys, but on your iPhone here at the bottom, you kind of get all your main apps at the bottom. Stick the app at the bottom with the main ones, right here. And if it's there, when it's there, it's priority. Like, if you've got fucking TikTok here and fucking Facebook, or you're like, get rid of it. Put that in there. Put it somewhere on your screen where you go, right, bang. Every single one of you should just be able to go with your alarms, bang, stick that there, 8 o'clock. Every single morning it goes off at 8 o'clock and it says, get an accountability up, you numpty. So it's just that trigger. These are the small things that make a difference, right? And these are the things that you have to meet me halfway with. These are the things that you have to do. And like on the Wednesday, set your alarm for when you're going to put up your Wednesday midweek accountability. On the weekend, put it up when you're going to put up your plans. Do the plans at the same day, same week, every single time, non-negotiable. Okay, I'll end up fucking driving everyone mad with my whinging. So let's just get it done, yeah? Let's fucking get it done. So let's talk about 2024. If anyone says new year, new me, you'll be out immediately and I won't even tell you. Okay, because we're not having any of that bullshit, all right? It starts now, all right? It starts now with the prep work that we do. So, I don't know if you've got a pen or pencil or something to make notes, which will be quite handy. I am going to put this all into a post tomorrow morning for you, or at some point tomorrow, with all of the resources that are going to assist you. The resources that I'm going to give you are what I give my guys in my top 1% club and the elite squad, okay? And this is going to be almost, I think, as we evolve the journal in the new year, the format for it. And it's been really good feedback, and I think it's going to guide you. Sorry, and I think it's going to guide you well. So, by the end of November, your first checkpoint, by the end of November, I want everybody to have their first draft of what they want to achieve in 2024. Okay, I'm going to come on how we do this in a minute. Okay, just write this down for now. So by the end of November, you are going to have your first draft of what you want to achieve in 2024. By mid-December, okay, so somewhere around, let's have a look at dates. So somewhere around, yes, the 16th, Saturday the 16th of December, okay, we're going to have our second draft done. Okay, again, I'll explain all of this to you. And then obviously by January the 1st, we're going to have our final draft of these three things. Okay, and some of you might be thinking, what on earth? Number one, your 5-year vision. Yeah. Number two, your 2024 plan. And number three, your Q1 plan. So I used the wrong terminology there. Your 5-year vision, your 1-year vision, and your Q1 plan. The difference between vision and plan is that one is set in stone and one is a blueprint to success, and the other one is an idea about where we're going. So I want you to understand about the concept of 2024 and the 5-year vision as almost exactly that, a vision, an imagination, a dare to dream, some inspiration, some goals, some outcomes that you want to achieve with your life, okay? Is everyone happy with that so far? Okay, so that is what we would call planning to plan, all right? And that's the deadlines I've given you are the exact deadlines that I've asked everybody in my higher courses to make sure that they've done, all right? And make sure that they're done. So we're going to reverse engineer the process about how we do this. So the first thing I want you to do, number one here, okay, is list, brain dump what you want out of life for 2024. Maybe you're single and you want to find love, okay? Maybe you want to buy a dream car, okay? Maybe you want to earn more money and come and work with me on a higher level. Maybe you want to do something really nice for you and your wife where you go off and you have a nice holiday together. Maybe you want to lose the 2 stone that you've been like carrying around. Maybe you want to get much better at planning, okay? Maybe you want to stop being a miserable shit, okay? Whatever it might be. And the idea of this is that we have to be in the right environment to be able to do this. The right environment, okay? So the right environment is finding a place by yourself, okay? Jeff McIntyre's got a great set of headphones on. Finding some headphones, getting some music on, okay? Just finding a coffee shop and just going, man, what do I want? Because the problem that we have is that when we try to understand what we want out of life, there is too much chaos distracting us. There's too much going on around us. Kids, finances, job, JB, personal development, fucking this, fucking that. Like everything is clouding your thought. And the best time to do this, can anyone think in the comments, tell me when they think at what part of the day is it best to do this? Bang. All right, good. Morning routine. But obviously half of you don't show up to morning routine according to the accountability. So, you know, if you're in bed wanking yourself off, like, you know, I'm not showing up today. Morning routine. Why? Because your mind is clearest in the morning. Like when you go on that walk, or when you sit there and you do your reflection, when you do your meditation, you're in the best state of mind you can be in before everyone ruins it, like your wife and your kids and your job and your clients, and they all ruin your day and ruin your life, okay? So in the morning, that is the best time to do it. And when you do it, you can just like brain dump. So in theory, the first draft here, and it is a loose first draft, we want to make sure that we get this done. What are we, the 6th? So we probably could set ourselves 2 weeks to be able to do this. And I say 2 weeks because every single day is a little bit different, right? This morning, I woke up and felt really good because I went to jiu-jitsu and I strangled loads of people and I got loads of strangled and I felt really good. Tomorrow morning, I'm probably going to feel a little bit fried because I've been on 4-day daddy daycare, like on duty. So I'm behind slightly with work schedule. So I might be slightly stressed. But what I'm saying is that every single day we're a little bit different depending on what's happening in our life. So when we brain dump something, you might just come to it and the next day and go, oh, I never even thought about that. Bang. I think that people skim the brain dump too much. Okay, I think we're skimming the brain dumping. I don't think we're doing enough of it. I don't think we're coming back to it. I don't think we're taking into consideration the mood that we're in, the condition of our environment. If you did it over a 2-week process, if you start this process tomorrow morning and you did it over 2 weeks, you might cross some things out and go, nah, that's not for me. Whereas then you might highlight things and go, oh, this one is really sticking out. And through that process, what we end up doing is then understanding what pillars to put it in, all right? So can you see almost that we've done this the opposite way? Those that have been with me a while, we used to do the pillars and base everything around the pillars, right? But then this time, I want us to think about what we want and identify, right, what pillars is that covering? And by the way, some of the things that you want might cover more than one pillar. So I'll give you an example. One of my year outcomes that I want to achieve is I want to get to the next belt in my jiu-jitsu. So I would class that not only as health but personal development as well, because it's not just about strangling people, it's about being emotionally conditioned. Okay, it's about composure, it's about self-belief, and ironically I'm doing almost a case study for my next book on self-belief and the links between doing jiu-jitsu and then bringing that off the mats and putting that into real life, right? So like, if I can really believe in myself in terms of I'm putting myself through these competitions on purpose, thinking to myself, can I have the self-belief to think I can win? Okay, and then maybe bringing it into health as well. And it's like, how do they link up to each other? And it also links under fun, because I have the best fun ever there, because I separate myself. So it might come under more than one pillar, and I want you to explore that. And that's okay. That's absolutely fine. Okay. Makes sense so far, everyone? Yeah, everyone on it? Sweet. Then I'm going to mess you all up and you're going to do your 5-year vision. Okay. Now, in the documentation that I'm going to give you tomorrow on the PDF, I have done my 5-year vision as an example for all of you. Okay. And the way that I've done it is that I've only done it for 4 pillars. Okay. Because fun kind of interlinks with everything that's going on in there. Okay, so a lot of the stuff in there I would class as fun. So what I've done, and I haven't got it on this laptop, it's on my other one, so I would have put it up for you, but tomorrow you will see, and I want you just to look through it. So I want to be really clear on this. And this brings me on to these checkpoints. The first thing you probably notice is that I'm not talking about a 10-year vision, which is how we started the process of Remember the Mission. It's in the book of Remember the Mission. With feedback from guys, 10 years blows people's mind. Some of you can do 10 years. So I've brought it back to 5 because I think 5 is quite a realistic number. So like I'm 45, everything I'm doing now is about being at a certain status, a certain position, a certain place in life by the time I'm 50. So I'm almost trying to, in my mind, set myself up for the second half of my life because I'm getting to 100, right? So that's everything that's processing here. So the way that it works, it's a vision. It's a vision. So the thing that I'm trying to achieve, there's no way you're 45, Daniel. You're at least 65 there, bro. Fucking hell. So the thing that we're trying to do is just put headlines in. You put as many as you want. You put as few as you want or as many as you want. So I put 5-year vision, bang, 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 3 years and then 1 year. So although you've done your 1 year here, we're now going to do your 5-year vision and you're going to reverse engineer it to what you need to achieve in the first year. And you're going to link it with what you've already done, okay, from this brain dump. So you've brain dumped, you've put it into pillars, so you've got an idea of the things that you want to achieve. Then you reverse engineer the 5-year vision. You reverse engineer it to like, where do I need to be at the 3-year marker? Where do I need to be at the 1 year marker? And that should almost align with what you said you wanted for 2024. Does that make sense? In the comments, if it doesn't make sense, please let me know now, and please don't be afraid to ask, because this is what this is about. Okay? This is what we spent the whole day doing in London on Friday with the guys in the Top 1% Club. We've done this in detail. Okay? And this is the type of stuff where you go, right, what you said you wanted before doing the 5-year vision now matches the long-term play, the bigger picture that we're talking about. And if your 1-year visions here don't match this 5-year vision, that's where there's disconnect. Do you know what I mean? That's the disconnect. So we've got to make sure that we're on top of that. Let me just have a look at the comments. Haven't we got this already? I've done the 10-year already. So if you've done your 10-year, not everyone's an RSM or former RSM in the military and switched on like you with a dodgy tash. But yeah, some of you might have already done this, guys. Some of my guys that have been with me a long time. So some of you might have already nailed this. Do you know what I mean? But it's going back to it and going, are these the things that I still want to do? So I'm going to give you an example. I did my 10-year vision at 40. At 45, I've achieved most of it. And actually, the things that I've still got left to do, I don't necessarily align with anymore. Okay, so this is important to do. It's number one, a refresher. It's a bit of a reset. It's a bit of a refocus to then go again. Okay, just see if there's any questions here. Should we not do the 5-year first to get an idea about the next 12 months? So what I was trying to say is that I want you to write down what you want first and then put them into pillars. And then that's your initial thought of, right, I need to make sure what I'm doing for my year. And then when you go to do your 5-year vision, you're thinking long term. So when you reverse engineer it, it's almost like it should match that end of year. And if there's a difference, then there is a disconnect. Because what we don't normally do is we don't think about how do I be a cat. It's everything so the big thing that I have for the guys that we work a little closer with is, am I getting the most out of my time? Am I using my time wisely? Am I using it like it's got value? Is there value to how I'm spending my time? So the problem is that if we go away and do this year vision and it doesn't link in nicely with the bigger picture, then there are two different paths that we're trying to go down. So if we are not aligned, if we're doing stuff here that doesn't align with the long-term plan, this is wasted time. Does that make sense? Yeah? What's the procedure? What's the procedure if there's disconnect between 1-year plan and a 5-year plan? I'll come on to that. What if your 1-year vision is wrapped up what if your 1-year vision is wrapped up after a year? Steve, do you mean if you finished it before the end of the year, if you've got everything achieved? Yeah, okay, I'll come on to that. It's a nice way to find out if there's a disconnect, 100%, yep. Cool, all right, let's go back up here. What's the procedure if there's a disconnect between 1-year plan and a 5-year plan? That's where you've got to do the work. All right, so we've kind of got, this is what I said I was going to do in 2024. This is what I said I wanted to achieve over the 5 years. After reverse engineering it, so it's almost, this is the way that I look at it visually, right? It's like coming from two different options. So you can, one way, this model 1, you're planning this way. Model 2 is this. Your 5-year vision is you planning this way. And then trying to make sure that the middle is the same. Yeah, everyone with me on that? I think I've explained that. So if there is disconnect between this and that, that's where you have to go, right, what is the disconnection? It's as simple as going, well, why have I said that I want you to achieve that and I want you to achieve that? Right, so I've got to make that align with that. And that's where that's the showing up. Because otherwise you've got these two different paths and they miss each other. And we want to bring them together. I hope that answers your question. I can't remember who answered that. So when we're doing our year plan, every quarter, and I've got an idea of how I'm gonna do this, but I want to do this within the Brotherhood, because this is something we do. So when you see us going traveling abroad, this is what we do. We go really deep dive over 3-4 days on what went well, what didn't go well, why didn't we show up, why didn't we achieve the things that we wanted to achieve. So I want to try and find a way to be able to do that in this format here with everybody in Elite Brotherhood. So every quarter, we should be reviewing that 5-year vision, and we should be reviewing the 1-year vision. So have I made the progress that I was going to make? Okay. If so, what do I need to do in the second quarter to make sure I'm still on track to achieve everything? And if you achieve everything really, really early, or you think you're going to achieve something early, that's where we then need to evolve the plan and go, right, I need to start at the long-term vision. Okay, what do I need to do next to achieve the 5-year? So if it's a stepping point, the 1 year is a stepping point closer to achieving the 5-year vision. If you are choosing something over 5 years and you achieve it within a 1 year, then I don't think you're thinking big enough. All right. If you achieve your 1-year vision, say after 7 months, then figure out what you have to do next as part of the plan. So you go straight to your 3-year checkpoint and go, what was that? Right. That's what I need to start working towards now. This 3-year checkpoint. Does that make sense, Steve? Yeah, sure. So this is the connect. This is why I'm asking you all to do your plan. Like there were fucking only 29 November plans out of fucking 100 odd blokes. That's how I know people are disconnected, because no one's writing what they're fucking doing down or the review process. Okay, so then we come here and we've got our 1 year. We've got our 1 year. Okay, so we know what we're going to achieve, and when you see the PDF tomorrow, okay, you'll be able to write all of this down and keep it on you like the Bible. And then you go, right, quarter 1, then you'll go first 28 day, then you go week 1 and day 1. And every month, at the end of each month, we do the 28-day review. And when you do the 28-day review, we do all the same things as what we're doing for here. We go away to an environment. All I'm asking for you to do is spend the amount of time that you would have a coffee, to go to Starbucks, to plan to review and figure out what you're doing well over 28 days, figure what you're not doing well, figure out why you're not connecting. So you're self-diagnosing yourself to go, I'm a lazy cunt, I haven't been doing anything, okay, or I haven't been checking in with doing my morning accountability. That's the snowball effect. As the snowball gets bigger, well, I haven't done my Wednesday check-in, or I haven't done my Saturday check-in. There are people who haven't even started the Elite Movement Blueprint. Like I went through today, every fucking one of you, I'm looking at who's showing up in that blueprint and who's not. And then there's people saying to me like, oh, I'm not doing this or I'm not doing that. There's people on here who are not showing up and they're not even showing up to the focus. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's mind fucking. Like this is like that one opportunity, but what ends up happening, if you stop cycling, you're going to drown. You've got to keep going. You've got to keep showing up. You've got to keep the momentum going. You don't have to be 100% all of the time. You don't have to have this perfect mentality where, well, if I'm not showing up fucking some of the time, I might as well not show up at all. I just need you to get in there. The minimum amount of morning accountabilities is Monday to Friday. You want to take weekends off? Dig out. Do your plans. Do your Wednesday check-in. Overall, it's about an hour's worth of work a week. That will dramatically change the way you live your life, right? It's like doing 3 20-minute workouts a week for the rest of your life. It's going to benefit you. Okay, and that's what we need to get into your heads, guys. And then when you have this type of planning process and you go through it, and every 28 days you just look at your 5-year vision and go, yep, fucking I'm bang on track for that. I'm bang on track for my 1-year vision. I'm bang on track for my 12-week plan. I'm bang on track to achieve it. So the next 28 days, this is what I need to achieve my 12-week plan, to move me one step closer to the vision. And it's that cycle. Does that make sense to everybody? But guess what it takes? It's fucking hard work over the next 2 months. Hard work showing up. Making sure in your diaries In fact, we're going to go through it. So if you've got a pen, write these 5 things down, okay? So number 1, show up. You know, get a tattoo on your forehead that says it. So when you look in the mirror, it says show up. I can't emphasize it, and I just need you at 1%. Like, I've been saying that for years, haven't I? For some of you who've been with me years, 1%. That's the difference between somebody that disappears, goes back to the old way of life and the struggle and the strain, and between that person who's always in the fight. Okay, that's on our new t-shirts. Not on this t-shirt. Okay, so I've got the other one, which is never satisfied. Number 2, plan to plan and plan to review. Plan to plan and plan to review. They are our golden rules in the top 1% club. Without doing those 2 things, you are coasting. You are below that line and drowning. Diary management. Diary management, okay? Every single one of our focus groups that I've put in a diary until December should be in your diary. These focus groups are non-negotiable. This is your opportunity to ask me anything, to continue your training, to listen to each other, to look out for the wins, to get that time, to get that energy. You know, for those of you who come to Birmingham or have been to Birmingham, you know that energy. This gives you that little bit of energy to go away and focus. You miss one of these, then you only see me once a month. You might not see me for 5-6 weeks. Disconnect. Just tell your fucking missus, man. Like these are the dates. Put them in your diary. This is non-negotiable. You know, I appreciate some people work. I appreciate some people got shit going on. Sometimes, like with training and stuff, you know, that's just the way it is. But if there are no excuses, this is where you should be on those dates. Okay, and there's only one this month because the next one's in Birmingham, and then the next time we meet is in September. Cool. So diary management. Put in your diaries. Wednesday check-in on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, right, Wednesday check-in. On Friday or Saturday or Sunday, right, weekly plans. Write every single day in your thing, morning accountability. It's in the journals. If you're using the journals, it's all in that little timetable bit. I put it in there to remind you. Set your alarms, which is the next one. Alarms dictate everything. Don't snooze. Don't fucking procrastinate. Just get the fuck on with it and get up and do your morning routine to the best of your ability. If there's one thing that you could do to the best of your ability, it's your morning routine. And every single one of you said to me at some point, the morning routine is the foundation, is the rocket fuel to how you approach the day. Okay? It is the most powerful routine that you have in your arsenal to show up. It sets the tone. It sets the attitude. It sets the mindset. And that's what we're looking for. And then the last one is study. In the Elite Movement Blueprint, I've given you a course that we charge people who come into this course now £1,500 for free. Okay? If anyone's on zero by January the 1st to watch it, you're going to have to pay me £1,500. There's an incentive to fucking show up, right? £2,000. No, but fucking lads, watch it. And if you think, oh, I know it all, you don't. You have to keep watching it. I'm reading this one book. I've been studying this one book on business for the last 4 months. I've read this book 10 fucking times. I've listened to the audio book 5 fucking times. My plan for 2024 is to study it for the whole year until it's ingrained in my head. I don't want to read hundreds of different books. I want to study one, go all in it. Watch the Elite Movement Blueprint, study it, action it, repeat. Study, action, repeat. There is all of my old content. If you've known me or been around my world for years, you remember the old Morning JB shows, right? So in theory, our Rise to Thrive shows is 472. But the Morning JB show went to 300. So in theory, we're on show 800 nearly. Okay, so there's nearly 300 pieces of coaching sessions in the courses. There is multiple educational modules in there for you. But the most up-to-date one is the Elite Movement Blueprint. It will teach you everything you know. everything you know and everything you need and every resource you need to get there. You've got Mikey B, who is constantly putting out for phone calls, but people are not turning up. If you don't show up for a call and don't cancel it, I'm going to put a 3-month ban on you even being able to book a call. You've got to respect the time, guys. John's there, I'm there. I haven't had a message in October, apart from Steve telling me to fuck off, which is all he ever does as an RSN. Okay, so a couple of you could do, in all seriousness, a couple of you do communicate, but I haven't had one message asking me for clarity, asking me for direction, asking me for help. I'm not too fucking busy. I'm busy doing my job helping you fuckers. Do you know what I mean? That's my job. And if you need some clarity, and I had a good chat with Steve Fitches today, and it was just like, you know, if Steve had come to me and with those problems early October, I could have said, this is how we're going to plan, this is what I want you to do. Sometimes you just need a little bit of refocus. And don't allow your ego or pride to get in the way of just going, Jay, I need help. Because that's what I do. I sit here, I look at the fucking Brotherhood, and I'm like, no messages, no messages, no messages. Like, I'm probably going to get a fucking 100 tomorrow, and I'll be like, fucking Jesus Christ. But I'm serious. That's what we're here to do. We're here to get you to the place you need to be, all right? But when you write what you're writing, I want you to think about what you're writing, all right? Because if you come into me and you state all of the excuses before I even fucking respond to it, you know what I'm going to say. So it has to be constructive.